Welcome back to the GP podcast. Today we are discussing the new RIOT MMO. What will be the potential classes? What will be the end game? And what will be the monetization strategy? And much more. Watch till the end to see the opinion of the AI. That is very, very interesting as well. But let's dive into the topic. With me is Stefan, aka Bazooka Bird, and myself, Mick, aka Van Mick. And today we are having a new schedule in our podcast. We will explain the things we are doing in the podcast a little bit, but we will also have a video on the channel explaining that as well. We are going through it with first the critical hit, discussing a very an opinion on the internet. Don't have to be about the topic. It will be an interesting opinion. Discussing that, we'll go through comments of viewers. We will go through a makorar of opinions, a duel to the death. That's the saying. We will go a little bit deeper into the topic, and for the last, we have the AI machine overload. Stefan, how are you doing?
Hey, Michael. I'm doing good. And yeah, getting ready to fly away from Portugal. But let's dive into the critical hit.
Perfect. Let's dive in the RIOT MMO topic. And we will start, as Stefan said, with the critical hit. Stefan, do you want to start with your critical hit?
Yes. So my first critical hit would be, I think that the constant delays of games releases are a sign of poor project planning. What do you think about that?
Is it a sign of poor project planning or managing the expectations of the viewers or of the users, of the gamers? Because I don't know, maybe some studios will see the comments of the alpha, of the beta, and they will see that gamers are not satisfied with the game how it is, and they are scared to launch it to be a massive flop. I'm not sure about that. If it's I guess it is bad management, but I also think it is. They are scared about the expectations of the gamers. What do you think?
Yeah, I also disagree. I think of course, you can say a little bit it is poor project planning, but in the end, it is like, okay, we know that our game is not ready. It doesn't make sense to release it. So let's step back, concentrate, move on, and try to get a good game out before bringing a poor game out. So I think, yeah, that's better decision making to say, okay, let's wait until we are ready to launch.
Yeah, and we saw a couple games as well, which launched without delaying and bringing out the poor game, and we saw where this headed to. So, but there are also games like No Man's Sky, for example, which are launching poorly and then progressing over the time very well. So a lot of options for that. My critical hit is Elon Musk will create the biggest AI gaming studio and dominate in 5 years' time from now. Because today, a couple hours ago, he posted on X that he will create an AI gaming studio. What are your thoughts about that? Yes.
Holy shit. How can I understand like AI gaming studio? Like his only employees are AIs, or how can I expect that?
I think probably where the most of the tasks can be done by AI, like a gaming studio we thought would be possible in a couple of years, and we discussed it in a podcast before as well.
Yeah, I mean, like if Elon touching something, it will happen. So if he is doing that, crazy. Like I thought he will not join the gaming industry. Honestly, I think like he has a lot of other stuff to do. So I didn't thought about that he will really join it. But I think like it would be great. But yeah, crazy. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
there was a guy talking about how games changed, and they're talking about all the stuff we talked about in our podcast as well, actually. And Elon commented about it, and he said it's time to make an AI gaming studio or something like that. But we're talking about the number one Diablo 4 player, so he knows what he's talking about. So yeah, actually very exciting, I think.
Yeah, nice, really nice, crazy. Have to like it.
Yeah, so that's our critical hit for understanding. The critical hit is a general topic. Don't have to be our opinion, but a nice topic to discuss about. But let's move on to the next topic, and that is the keyboard warrior. We selected beforehand interesting comments about viewers, which viewers left us on the channel, on all our channels, and we will discuss it. So if you write a comment under our videos, you can be the next video if it's interesting enough. Stefan, do you want to start with your comments you researched?
Yeah. So my keyboard warrior would be: I'm so excited to explore Runeterra in a MMO setting.
Yeah. This is something which excites a lot of us, I think, a lot of MMO players, because everyone knows Riot is what Riot touches, they will do the project very well. And that is the exciting thing about the whole project, because we know that if they finish it, it will be something very special, and that is the whole excitement, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, I think like the nice thing about Runeterra, and especially in an MMO scenario, is that you have such a huge world where you can go so many different ways. So it is so exciting to see, will they go like this, will they go like that, and like we talked also in our podcast, there are like 180 characters at the moment. Will be everybody can play one of these characters in the MMO game? I don't know. Let's see.
We're diving a little bit later into those questions, and you will hear what our opinion is about that. But let's talk about the next comment of yours.
Riot should focus on fixing toxicity. What the hell? Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
Toxicity.
Yeah. In Leech before diving into an MMO.
Okay, so Riot should first solve the toxicity problem in League of Legends before creating a new MMO. So first, yeah, killing all the problems left in the other games before diving into a new game. That is a very bold statement. I would not support that statement, because you can start other things. I mean, numbers. We talked about the podcast in a recent podcast about the topic, and League of Legends has incredible numbers. So numbers speak for themselves. League of Legends is a very, very successful game, and I think the toxicity problem you will have in competitive games like League of Legends, that's nothing special. But yeah, I think there is no point in not starting a new genre. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. And also what we saw in our comments below the League of Legends podcast, and also our shorts on TikTok or YouTube, that people have actually fun playing League of Legends and enjoying, and they have a different opinion. They can't see the toxicity and all this kind of stuff. So, and they're like recommending like do that, and you will have more fun. So, it's like a view of one or a few others, but not the whole community.
Yeah, definitely agree with that. So these are the comments. If you want to be in the comments the next time, write us a comment down below about the topic, and then we discussed it in the next video or under our shorts. The next is the Makora of opinions, so the duel to the death in case of one statement about the topic. So I will start with my statement about the topic, the MMO of Riot. My statement is the following. The Riot MMORPG will have the same fate as Lost Ark and will fall off. WoW will be undefeated.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard to tell from now what will happen because we don't know so much which the road they are going. So could be potential, but I think in the end they will bring something new into the MMO, and I think it will be exciting. But of course, if something is new, you don't know if all people will love it. So that would I say to your Makura of opinion.
Yeah, I think actually it will go this way, because it is so hard to, when someone copies World of Warcraft 1-to-1, everybody says it's only a cheap copy. And if you're not copying World of Warcraft 1-to-1, then you have a different experience. But all the people love the experience of World of Warcraft, with the combat, with the community, with everything at the moment. And World of Warcraft gives the players so much potential and so much different game modes in case of classic, hardcore, retail. I don't know what else. Cataclysm came out and something like that. So I cannot see a WoW killer in the next years. It didn't happen in the last 20 years. The WoW killer was all the time announced but never happened. So I cannot see it in the future as well.
Yeah, let's see. So my Makarov opinion is, I believe the Riot MMO will surpass World of Warcraft and become the new king of MMOs within 2 years. So actually the same kind of Makara. But I really think, like, if Riot MMO is doing a great job and bringing everything together, what could be possible, and really achieve the big thing, the big vision, I think there's a potential that there can be the new king of MMOs. Because the community base is so big in the background.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we will figure out in the future, but there is potential. Definitely, there is definitely potential, but we will dive a little bit more into those questions in our quest and answer segment. It's fresh, it's new. Yeah, but let's talk about a little bit about the general game, and then let's dive a little bit deeper in these kind of questions we ask now. Do you want to start with the first general question about the game?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, a lot of people are asking if the Riot MMO is cancelled. So just information, it is not cancelled. They're just are like in the shadows, working hard, but they're like have a lot of job offers, so they're still working on the project, and it should be like not soon, but they're like more in the end phase of finishing something than like somewhere in the beginning. So Riot MMO is not cancelled, just that you know. And my first question would be, what makes Riot MMO maybe stand out compared to existing MMOs?
I mean, if you compare it, for example, to New World, to Lost Ark, these are, I would say, new franchises in MMOs, and they have to create everything new. So it has to be very, very outstanding, because you don't bring a player base with you, and that is the big strength of the Riot MMO. You bring a big player base with you, you bring a big lore with you, which is important for MMO as well. And you have, as you told in the beginning of the podcast, you have a ton of opportunities in case of League of Legends, and that is the big strength of the new MMO of League of Legends, and the unique selling point then in case of comparison to New World or Lost Ark.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I think also the big player base, the huge story also with 180 characters, if in different, like you have light, you have shadows, you have everything, animals and stuff like that. So you can do a lot of storyline, you can do a lot of characters, you can do a lot of roads. So that's pretty nice, pretty huge, and also landscape, really nice maps, and yeah.
It is actually very similar to World of Warcraft, how World of Warcraft started, because it started from Warcraft 1, 2, and 3, the stories, and that was the story in the background, and then they started World of Warcraft. That was the perfect thing. They brought the player base, they brought the lore. It's very similar. That scares me a little bit in case of my thesis. But yeah, it's very similar. Yeah, that's interesting.
So what is your question, Michael?
Yeah, the interesting thing about the League of Legends MMO, not League of Legends MMO, the Riot MMO, I would say. How will they involve the League of Legends universe? You know, because we talked about it. We have the League of Legends universe. How can they involve it into the new MMO? How will it be? Will there be the story, obviously, but will there be the NPCs, or I don't know, maybe the playable characters? I don't know. What do you think? How would you do it?
I think you have like a lot of classes and races. So you have light, like looks, shadow, like fresh, senna, where it comes from the shadows. And I think what does make sense is that you have these kind of races, like different kind of races. And in the races you have the different classes, which are like then support, tank, like assassin, warrior, and mages. Like I think that's pretty similar. And so I think that you will have different kind of storylines depending on what you choose. But yeah, it's hard to tell, what they will do and how, right? But like if I would be right, I think I would try to do as much as possible.
Yeah, it's difficult to say. I researched a little bit about that topic as well, with the whole class and race setup. I mean, races would be very simple, as you said. They have the Noxus, and I don't know, a lot of different races already. They can adapt it like from Warcraft 3 to World of Warcraft. It's the same. Classes, that's the thing. Either you can play the characters like in League of Legends, like you take the race Noxus, and then you can choose between Darius, or I don't know who's the Noxus as well, but you can choose between those then. And for customization, you have then the equip, but the baseline is the champion and the abilities and the whole design. And maybe you can buy skins then, but that's another story. Or you're going into a different direction, and you lose it a little bit from the characters, and you implement the characters only as NPCs. For example, like in World of Warcraft, There in Warcraft 3, for example, Warcraft 3 is for me the League of Legends in case of the Riot. In Warcraft 3, there you had Thrall, Jaina, the Lich King, so Arthas and stuff like that. And all these characters were the important NPCs in the game, and they crafted classes around all the universe in Warcraft 3. So maybe they will come then. Maybe the roles are classes, the assassin, the mage. Maybe these are the classes then, So yeah, they have a lot of options, but I think it would go in this direction, yeah.
I think I'm pretty sure that, like I'm thinking 99% that they will not implement the characters as NPCs. You will play these characters.
You say 99% you think they will play these characters. Ooh,
Yes.
That's interesting.
because people connect with the characters. They're like already like OTPs, like playing one trick players, like only one champions. And if they can't play their character in a MMO scenario from Riot, I think they are disappointed. So I'm pretty sure they will implement maybe not all characters. Maybe they will come out later like WoW with
Sure.
Demon Hunter and Death Knight.
Monk, Death
But
Knight.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure you will play that. Yeah.
That's an interesting thought. Yeah. Okay. That's definitely a way to go, and a lot of things speak for it, as you said. Yeah. But yeah, I thought actually that it's not very possible. I thought they were going into the more MMO style and make it a little bit more general. But yeah, sounds interesting. Sounds different, and I think that's what they want to achieve, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And like we see in our last podcast, like a lot of things we said came true.
It's crazy, and I researched the topic today, right? And we were talking about League of Legends a lot in our last podcast, in one of the last podcasts. And there was an update of League of Legends. I think the video came out from Noxus. No, what is it called? The guy who makes the videos about League of Legends. A big YouTube channel. And he made the update video. And a ton of things which we said they should do it will get implemented now. That's incredible. They do a casual game mode now, which is way shorter and way more casual. So that's exactly what we said, what the casual player needs. He cannot commit so much time, and he needs a play mode. They were speculating, for example, that the play mode has passive gold income, and you don't have to spend a lot of time for farming minions or something like that. It's insane. So a lot of things came there. Yeah, it's crazy. Like they watched our podcast and then send it to the dev team and said, okay, let's implement that. It's incredible.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but let's go to the next question about the topic.
Do you think Riot's experience with esport will influence the MMO design?
I think yes, because Riot is very competitive in case of these things, and they have a big audience, and they are one of the faces of esports. So I think it will definitely play a role for esports in case of the new MMO as well, because they see that there is an audience. I mean, when you would develop a game, right? You look at what is on the market. You look at World of Warcraft. It's the biggest one and the most successful one, and there is an audience for World of Warcraft in case of the world race to world first, in case of the PvP market, and they think, when you look at it, World of Warcraft is doing it very poorly. They don't do anything for it, and still the community is there. So as Riot, I would think, let's take that in professional hands and let's do a really, really good tournament or something like that. There is a huge opportunity in my eyes.
Yeah, I would agree with everything you said. And one follow-up question to that is, how would you think will look a PvP situation in Riot's MMO, like an arena or battleground?
I think the usual PvP we can expect. I think we can expect that. But I think they will invent new things for the MMO market. I don't think we can dive a little bit deeper into it with my next question then as well. But I think they will invent new systems. It will not be the same experience as you're used to play, for example, New World, World of Warcraft, or Lost Ark. They were talking about a lot of crazy things, and this will shake the MMO market up. And the question is, in the end, will the players like it? So, for example, let's talk about the combat. How do you think will the combat style be like? Because that's one of the biggest questions when it comes to MMO, and that is one of the biggest things which every World of Warcraft killer failed on, and that was why the game was or for the most of it, that was why the game was being finished. Yeah. So, what do you think? How will the combat look like in the Riot MMO?
Yeah, I already told, like, we will play the characters most likely. So at the moment we are playing with 6 buttons, I think. So, or 7, I don't know. And if you know, like, the higher the WoW depth of Plunderstorm, so, and there you also had only, I think, 4 buttons, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, 4
So
buttons plus 2 utilities, right?
yeah. So I think it will go in a kind of way of this direction to have less buttons. And I think it could be nice, but also it is maybe hard for long term. That it's not maybe going to getting bored, like that you always click one button to do damage. And I think that, yeah, but yeah, let's see. Maybe there's a combo style also that you like can click one button, but then there's going more and more and more. So it is hard to tell. But if it's only like 4 buttons and it not changing, I will not like it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, you need to give a MMO a specific depth, right? That is, it is in the long run something to figure out and to play around with those kind of things. The question is what I was thinking about. Can you implement, for example, the rune system of League of Legends into the new MMO? Well, because that is something like a talent system as well, from World of Warcraft. And that would make it a little bit more complex. Maybe with the runes you can change the skills, but I think as well that it goes in this direction of combat, more like a more active and action combat, not like a tap target combat. I don't think they will do it because they have way more experience from League of Legends with the action combat. And the big hiring of the Mr. Salvatore from Plunderstorm was also a point in the direction of the combat, probably. But let's be honest, the combat of Plunderstorm was not bad. It was the thing was it was highly deficient of the latency. So you had to have a good latency to be competitive. Otherwise, yeah, it's not possible. But it's the same in League of Legends, right? But I think they will go in this direction because it suits them way more. Yeah.
Yep, true. Let's see. Will be exciting.
Yeah.
So, what lesson can Riot learn from the success and failure of other MMOs?
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. You have games like New World, for example, where they shipped the game which was not finished and which haven't had an end game. So I think one lesson they already learned is to not bring out the unfinished game, but that almost never happens with Riot. That's why they went into the shadows and worked a little bit harder on the game. And the other thing is, which is Riot also very good in, is when you look at Lost Ark, the game is way too crazy in pay to win. And that is something they will avoid, I think, because they're very good in it to avoid it. But what do you think, follow-up question, what do you think will the monetization look like?
I mean, you already said one thing, skins. And yeah, you have to think, I'm pretty sure they will use the things they already created, because otherwise it would be like a huge waste of time. So, but I hope that it is not like this, that you play your character and you can give him 100 different skins and you have to buy that. Hard to tell, but 100% sure there will be customization for your character, which you can buy because they already did it. So and it works pretty good. They make a lot of money with that. I also bought a lot of skins, so I'm pretty sure they will do something like that. And other than that, I hope they don't go like in the way like Lost Ark, because it sucked. Like if the paywall is so big and you need to actually buy stuff to play the game or play the end game, it sucks. So I hope they're smart enough to not do that.
Yes, I agree. The big question is, and that is also depending on if you can use skins or not, how will the end game look like? So what will be the end game mechanics? Will it be like in other MMOs, or do you have any ideas what they could do with the end game?
Same. You already told like race to first, or how it's called?
Race to world first, yeah.
Correct. So and also MMO, it's always there's a raid, there's a dungeon, so that's normal stuff, and I think they will implement that. And also, I don't remember the name. Right, did this kind of where you, if you level up, you get cards. If you know what I mean?
The PvE stuff in League of Legends, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know the name, but I think everyone knows.
Yeah, also people loved it. People played a lot. There was like already like minions, different kind of monsters. So I could also imagine that it goes like in a kind of way like Diablo, maybe, because then it's also okay with less buttons and this kind of playstyle, and so
Yeah, that could also be a thing. I saw a video where someone was talking about those kind of endgame stuff, and they said the Riot MMO will do a lot of things different. And they were speculating about maybe the endgame is not like the usual endgames that you only farm for gear, and then in the next season the gear is useless, and then you farm for gear again. Maybe it's not about that. Maybe the endgame is a couple different game modes. You can play with your character and you progress your character in case of, I don't know, something has to be there. Maybe the customization options, the skins or something like that, which you can unlock, or ratings or rankings or something like that. More into the competitive side, you know, maybe the PvE ranking, PvP ranking. Maybe that is the main thing, but not so dependent on the usual stuff, you know. Maybe they do Plunderstorm game modes, or the dungeon game modes where you can do ranking and unlock something for your character then. But I think it would be very interesting to see a MMO which is not focused on equipment, not focused on the gear grind. That would be a completely different approach, and I think you could make it work, and it would be refreshing to play. If it's long term nice, I don't know.
all right, I get information from the universe into my head. So it will be like this. Riot can do a lot of stuff good, and what they are doing good is ranking. So everybody loves ranking. In League of Legends, they're tryharding. They want always to get better. And I'm 100% sure that this will be an endgame feature. What means is, for example, if you play today, like, I don't know, M plus or rating, there is websites where you can look up and see you're one of the best and this kind of stuff. But it's not like included in the game, and it is not the part of the game. Like, it's like outside, people are interested in that, but it's not into the game, and Riot will do that for sure. And it's kind of a way end game that people are trying to beat times, like Diablo, like Elon Musk, first player, and then you have a time window, and you know, like, that's my time to kill. Then I'm number one in the world, for example, and people are trying to getting better. So something like that, in different kind of ways, I think will happen.
That is a mix of Diablo and the League of Legends approach, and I think the League of Legends approach could be very interesting in the MMO, in the Riot MMO, if they do it like that, because you're not stressed out if a season goes to an end because you only lose, I don't know, maybe a skin or something like that for your character, but it's not all about grinding your gear all the time and then it's a reset. So I think that is a very, very good opportunity, and as long as more and more we are talking about the Riot MMO, as more I think it could actually be the WoW killer. But yeah, let's see how that goes. Yeah.
All right. I have one good question to finish. So, what is your personal hope, expectation for the Riot MMO?
I hope they do something bold. I hope they take risks. I hope they go into new direction, because all the MMOs we saw in the past, also the recent past in the last years, all the MMOs wanted to copy World of Warcraft and they failed like crazy. You cannot beat World of Warcraft in a way World of Warcraft is, I think. That is a fact. You cannot beat it. You have to go a different way in an MMO, and you have to convince everyone that this different way is way better than the way we have all at the time. And I think that can happen. I think there will be ways we don't know yet for MMOs which are way better than World of Warcraft. And if that happens, a ton of people will jump over, and this game will explode if it's very good. So I hope they will go aggressively into new directions. What about you?
Yep. We said a lot. It is like the end game is important. That also, like, if I go back to my League of Legends account, I'm always at the same point. I am not behind or something like that. I'm starting to develop my character more. But in World of Warcraft, for example, I'm far behind. I have to grind equipment. I have to grind points to get into groups and this kind of stuff. So yeah, they have to change the equipment part. They have to change also the ranking, that it's a thing to rank on time and this kind of stuff into the game. And I hope they implement all characters in a kind of way it is possible and it makes sense, and people can choose what they want to play. And maybe what also be nice is that, and I hated it in Riot Mobile's game already, that it's not connected with the other universes. So if I play League of Legends and I have a skin, and I go to Riot Mobile's League of Legends, for example, then I have the same skin, but I have to buy it again. Oh, but I have it already like in the PC world. So I hope they combine everything and make it one universe, because then it feels even more like it is your character.
Yeah, definitely true. Yeah. That's a wrap for the question and answers, I would say. That's a perfect wrap. It's a very interesting topic, the Riot MMO, and we are very hopeful about it, that you could hear about this conversation. Let's go to the last point of our podcast today, and this is, as always, from now on, the machine overload. The machine overload is the following. It's the statement about the topic from AI, because we know AI is rising like crazy and AI will be a big part in our future. So we're including AI already in case of opinion, and we're talking about that opinion because we want to know how AI thinks about gaming as well. So we have two machine overloads, one from Stefan and one of mine. So do you want to start with your machine overload? What does the AI say?
So, I think you have from Grog, right? From Twitter.
Right.
So I have from ChatGPT. So we have two different opinions, and let's see what is the difference. So ChatGPT is saying bringing the toxic leech community into an MMO will doom the game from the start.
That's a very interesting and sharp opinion. My counter question would be, did the toxicity doom League of Legends? Question mark.
No, so we all, yeah, like you said, we already talked in the beginning. It will not doom the game because it is not that toxic like we thought.
Yeah, I think so too. The Grok version, he gave me a little bit a longer opinion, so I will read through these. I think it's 3 sentences. Given Riot's track record with League of Legends and their ambitious approach, I reckon they've got a solid shot at creating something remarkable. However, calling it the final WoW killer, that's like saying you're found the last piece of cheese in the universe. It's a bold claim in a galaxy full of surprises. I would say they're more likely to create a new contender in the MMO arena, possibly not dethroning World of Warcraft outright, but certainly giving it a run for its digital gold. So not a killer, but maybe the friendly neighbor challenger that makes WoW work out a bit harder in the gym.
Yeah, I mean a lot of things what we said, right? So I agree with Grok, and in the end, it will be not the WoW killer because it will be different, but it has potential to be like a big neighbor.
Yeah, I think the last sentence was very interesting. The last sentence where he said that it makes World of Warcraft work out a little bit harder, because that's all the time the same. World of Warcraft gets lazy, and when a new competitor comes up, World of Warcraft gets creative and steals the good ideas and makes it better and stuff like that. So if the Riot MMO comes out and is very, very good, then that would probably be a very, very good sign for the World of Warcraft players as well, because World of Warcraft will be even better in the next years as well. So if the trend is the same as in the past, yeah. So that's very interesting of Grok, yeah.
Yeah, competition is important. With competition, there's growth, so it is important. So hopefully, it's getting better. So we're getting a better World of Warcraft.
Yeah, definitely, we hope so. So there are a lot of interesting things about the Riot MMO. Please let us know, what do you think? Do you think, as like Stefan, that it would be very cool and it would be a very high chance that they implement the characters from League of Legends to play in the World of Warcraft MMO, in the Riot MMO? Do you think that is possible? Write us in the comments below. And yeah, I think that's a very good wrap, very interesting topic. And I would say, as always, the last words are yours, Stefan.
All right, guys, thank you for your time. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel, follow us on all social media accounts, and also don't forget to comment, because then you can be a part of our podcast. And the next podcast will be about World of Warcraft Hardcore. So we will dive into that because it is at the moment an interesting topic. And don't forget to look into our application Gamers Playground on App Store and Google Play Store, and try to find new mates for your League of Legends experience. And yeah, hope you have a nice time and see you in the next time. Bye bye.